When I tell y'all, I be over here learning and laughing. Now, let me give you some Young Money tea, bitch. Let me give you some Young Money tea. Damn. Y'all know Karen Civil. Do y'all know Karen Civil? If you don't know Karen Civil, marketing, branding, social media. Okay, great. So back in when Karen Civil was young like us, she wanted to be in the music industry, and she started this website for Wayne while he was away in prison or whatever. And that's how she kind of like got popular, whatever, started this fan site for Wayne. So she started off as a fan of Wayne. You'll see her in early videos with Nicki Minaj at the time. She obviously has her own businesses. She doesn't really work for labels or whatever. However, if you let's zoom in and see what was her last job. Lil Wayne and Young Money, general manager and executive vice president of Young Money. I remember when it was announced that she was the EVP and the GM. Okay, now this is the person who was responsible for all day-to-day activities of Young Money and the roster. It says she started in February 2022 to January 2024, earlier this year. And I literally just saw this a couple of days ago, like when I was just snooping around. And I said, because I was like, yo, like, I know Karen Civil been working with Young Money. Karen Civil was on the stage. Remember last year after Nicki released Red Ruby, went and was a special guest at Lil Wayne when he was headlining Rolling Loud in Cali. She was there, like she just always been around Wayne. Like she was, one of them people, like a Mac Main. Like you see how Mac Main is the president of Young Money. She basically, like Wayne basically hired her to be like, I don't want to say Mac Main's boss, but he said he the Young Money president. If you hire an executive vice president, that's over the president. So it's like, yeah, it's given like, Wayne hired her to be the boss of Young Money. See, here's the thing, guys. You know what I'm really interested in? I'm really interested in when did Young Money actually stop? Okay. At some point, Drake leave, Nicki leave, or whatever, but Young Money was still an operating business. And it is still an operating business, but I think on a very, very, very basic level. Because if we're seeing that Wayne got rid of his executive vice president, okay? One Karen is not, she ain't cheap, okay? She was probably charging Wayne, I don't know, maybe $1 million, okay, to work for him or whatever. So, and so like I definitely feel like Wayne has cut all of the staff at Young Money. There was another person who I think his name is Jason. You probably know about him or seen him, who used to run social media for Young Money and Wayne and stuff like that. That account used to be very active. Young Money's Instagram used to be very, very, very active, and now it's no longer active anymore. And that tells me that they used to have someone running their social media full time, and now they don't. Which means that they ain't got no money. Which means that Wayne had to cut staff. Okay, he had to get rid of his team or whatever. So it's really interesting. Seriously, like the downfall of Young Money. And this is what I'm going to be focused on because, bitch, this is the people that I love. This is what I want to see documentaries on. Like, what the fuck? So this is what we're going to be talking about. So anyway, I bring this up, right? We didn't even get into it. So just know she was working for Wayne and Young Money. All right, cool. Of course, her and Nicki is cool. They tight, whatever. I mean, I don't know if they tight, but they cool. So she said yesterday at 2:14 p.m. She said, so it really is getting sticky. Now, Sticky, that's Drake's song, right? Young Money. This person said, man, I thought you was one of the people representing Wayne. What the f is going on? I expected better when I heard you were joining the team. Me too. Started off good and been downhill since. She responded. She said, thanks. Glad to know you can see my efforts are no longer being utilized. Her confirming that she is no longer working for Wayne and Young Money. He's like, OMG, bitch, my mouth dropped when I seen this shit last night. I was like, what? Joe Budden is right if that's what he said, allegedly. Young Money full of check chasers. I've been telling y'all, Wayne does anything for a check. That's why you see him on every feature. For a young artist that you may not even heard of, Wayne gonna be on the song. And he probably not even get paid the most top dollar. Because guess what? Who are the artists who get paid top dollar? Nicki, Drake. And guess what? They're worth so much that they can't even get paid because nobody has their budget. Right? You paying at least a 1.52 million for a Drake Nicki feature, but they don't get paid for their features because literally nobody has their budget. So if the top artists aren't getting paid what they're worth for their what do you think Wayne is getting paid? And why do you think instead of him doing rare features like Nicki and Drake do rare features, that nigga Wayne is always on the feature. Wayne is definitely getting a check, but he's definitely getting his royalty and his points on the master and on the publishing. Maybe not on the master, but definitely on the publishing. And that's why Wayne, one of the reasons at least why Wayne is constantly inserting his DNA into the new generation of rap, because yes, he loves the sport, he loves to rap, but the nigga always also need a check. Okay. And Nicki also need that check too. Okay. Because ain't none of her businesses is sustaining her at this point. So yeah, Young Money right now is chasing checks. That's why, Nicki, all of a sudden you want to get up and really drop album after album, go on tour after tour. Girl, you wasn't doing that for the last 10 years. So on a basic level, yeah, Young Money is chasing checks. And that's totally okay. That's totally okay. I definitely I've always said, I felt like Nicki should have left Young Money way earlier, just like when Drake did. She obviously don't have as much leverage as he do, but she do got some. in order to not be giving them all of them albums. And now who knows how many more albums she has to give Republic. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that nobody, like, I hope that everybody is enjoying the conversation. I hope that you're learning something. I hope that y'all are not getting in your feelings because at the end of the day, it's business over feelings, and the business is why a lot of this shit is happening. And if you're not understanding it, then I don't know what you're doing because all I want to do is get to the truth. I don't care who look bad, who look weak, who look what. I need to know the truth so that I can make my own opinion. Man, like Young Money is really down, y'all. Like Young Money, it's so sad. It's so sad, because it's just like I want them to be stronger. I want them to be the best. And like you said, and like, sorry, I forgot who said it. I don't know if it was Capricorn, but like, you have to like, if you really want what's best for Nicki, like you would want Young Money to be unified. And yes, it's been too much shit done between them to be unified and to be playhouse and to be fake to each other and stuff like that. So I don't feel like I'm not saying that I feel like Nicki should come out and say anything or defend anybody. I think she should be quiet as she's doing. But what I am saying is that like it's unfortunate that like this is where their battles have come to in the industry because you have Drake fighting his battles by himself now, Nicki fighting her battles by himself, and Wayne fighting his battles by himself. And that's why I don't feel like they're not strong. The Young Money side is not strong enough to go against Rock Nation because like they literally don't have any soldiers. They don't have any soldiers. They're supposed to be each other's soldiers. They're supposed to be each other's support, and they can't. They can't be. They can't be behind the scenes, and they can't be in public. And I feel like for me, and I want to know, for those of you who are in the chat, or at least think about this. I'm sure you guys have thought about this. I definitely am interested in knowing what do you guys think that Nicki thinks about this lawsuit. Do you think that Nicki thinks that this is some snitching shit or some dumb shit, or do you think that like nah, like Drake doing what he got to do for the industry, for the greater good, for artists, about payola and stuff like that? Like, what do you think? There's obviously no right answer, but I'm interested in what you. This is why I feel like the issues are only going to get worse before they get better because Drake is fighting alone, Nicki is fighting alone, and we see how that's worked out. We see how that's been working out since 2018. I mean, yeah, she's still here, but the fight going to take longer and it's going to be more brutal because you dead don't have no support. Like dead ass think about a war. Like like that's why Nicki stays on Station Head, and I'm not even going to do too much right now because she ain't been on Station Head like that. Oh, whoa. What is she talking about? That's why she be on Station Head like this. That's why Nicki has taken an extra interest in connecting with the fans during this era, I believe, because she said that, they want to take her down from within her fan base. And I think that this is her way of fighting back in two methods. It's one way of fighting back. Once again, if Nicki truly does not use any artificial methods for her streams, I believe that this is her way of doing so. You see how let's cut a $25,000 check and get some extra streams. No, instead of Nicki cutting checks, she's gonna come on Station Head and stream with her fans, right? This is how she gets her streams up, rather than doing what the other artists do. And then also while doing that, she's actually interacting with her fans and actually changing a lot of people's life. Nicki has changed so many people's lives throughout her career, especially during this era, and I have to put respect on it. But I also have to see it as a strategy. Nothing happens at this point just for the fuck of it, for the sake of it. Everybody is fighting back in their own way. Nicki feels threatened. She feels like her fan base is threatened, which is why she is constantly talking to them, which is why she's constantly doing something, saying something, always somewhere, bitch. Like, so it's just like, I definitely want to see if Nicki does go on a hiatus, how she actually does play it out. It's going to be very interesting. Because Nicki hasn't really let go. She has not let go since before she dropped Pink Friday 2. Nicki has been super active, in terms of talking to the fans almost every day, since Pink Friday 2's release. And that is not all the way good. But we're not going to get into that right now. So in terms of this, yeah, it's definitely the year of the Young Money crash out. It's so unfortunate. Drake and Nicki respond in similar ways. They're both emotional and stuff like that. Nicki had her crash out. Nicki had 2 crash outs this year. Drake, he was crashing out after the battle and then posted on Instagram and shit like that. Like, girl. And then Wayne never talks. And all of a sudden, Wayne got so much to say. If Young Money supported each other, they would definitely be winning. Facts. Very sad to see. Facts. Only the mature people, only the mature fans would come to that conclusion. Because everybody just like, no, shut the fuck up, ho. That's why we're not getting nowhere, because we're fighting by ourselves.